This doesn't mean that William himself was a monster. This was an accepted part of military discipline. Within the army, it really was flog or be flogged.
I'm sure this wasn't something that they took any pleasure in.
So I've managed to track down William's service record, and here's a page listing the regiments and ranks he held.
Okay. Slanty writing.
Yes.
What year is
1810.
this? Grenadier Guards. Drummer. So he was a drummer. Making something of his life. Hard work and diligence and commitment. And a musical talent. I just love that.
But there was another aspect to a drummer's duty, Kate.
Oh, no. No, I don't like it.
Drummers like William were tasked with administering corporal punishment, flogging the barebacks of drunks, thieves, and deserters with a whip known as the cat o' nine tails.
I don't believe this. I don't believe this is hideous, because my ancestors on the other side of my family were subjected to such punishments for stealing potatoes. This is horrific. Or I want to unhear this now. I don't like it.
William would have first performed this duty as a drummer in the Grenadier Guards, and then as a drum major in the 30th Foot. He would have supervised the punishment. The entire regiment was looking on, and it was a traumatizing spectacle for all involved. This doesn't mean that William himself was a monster. This was an accepted part of military discipline. Within the army, it really was flog or be flogged.
I'm sure this wasn't something that they took any pleasure in.
Well, we actually have another page from his service record here, and I'll direct you.
I'm so glad you've taken that horrible thing out of my hand.
To the lines about his conduct and character.
Okay. The officers are of opinion that this general conduct has been that of a good and efficient soldier, trustworthy and sober.
So William, from everything we know, was an exemplary soldier.
And good at whipping people.
But William doesn't spend his entire career in the army. In 1839, because of chronic rheumatism, he can no longer do his duty.
So at that point, he still wouldn't have been very old, about 41, 41, 42.
And the question is, I suppose, what do you do next?
When you're only 40 and you've got 11 children? And what even is this? Enumeration book for public institutions. County of Devon.
Yep. This is part of the 1851 census, or?
Convict prisons.
That's right.
What?
Now, he wasn't actually a prisoner.
Oh, thank God!
Now, let's see if you can find any Colquhouns.
Oh, my God.
Page.
OK, William Colquhoun. Position in the institution.
Principal?
Principal, warden.
Principal warder. So he was a prison warder at
He was
Dartmoor.
a prison warder at Dartmoor?
Yes, the iconic Dartmoor Prison. And his family...
Where are his family?
Are living in Westminster.
OK, so his family are in Westminster.
He's not abandoning his family. He's taken on a job that really was common amongst soldiers to do, serving as a prison warder in order to support them back in London.
Dartmoor, a former military prison, opened to civilians in 1850. At the time, attitudes to prisoners were under review.
Hello?
The traditional policy of transporting felons to the colonies was being wound down.
It's a new type of prison. Dartmoor had quite a reformist agenda, in some ways ahead of its time. It was not just about punishment.
Right.
But also some reformatory techniques were used to try to make them better men and then released back into British society.
Gosh.
Kate's 3 times great-grandfather, William Colquhoun, was one of the first officers to serve at Dartmoor.
The Daily News, October the 2nd, 1851. a visit to the experimental prison at Dartmoor. Having a desire to see something of the great work that is going on in the Dartmoor prison, we presented ourselves to the warder of the gate. The governor had sent for Principal Warder William Colquhoun. My gosh. And told him to show us over the whole of the prison and answer all questions fully that we might ask him. We found our guide and intelligence officer. Hang on, so this is him?
That's right, yeah. It's your intelligence officer is William, your ancestor.
Oh, God, wow. That's a whole article, basically, about my great-great-great-grandfather. How extraordinary to sort of read a description, really, of him. I'm very happy to see this.